This week we once again invite you to stroll with us through spectacular countryside before we both get started in the garden. I try my hand at sowing seeds, while Sue sets about hacking at an overgrown vine, and then set an engineering challenge by a lovely subscriber. But first, welcome to our channel. We are Kath, Sue and Fudge. After retiring and spending 2.5 years travelling the UK in our motorhome, we decided to put down new roots in the Scottish Highlands, a move of over 500 miles north. With some help from the BBC's Escape to the Country team, we found our dream home and are now settling into Highland life. Well, you find Sue and I out on a walk together today. We've come to somewhere that I think we might have been here once before, but many years ago, but it's not far from where we live. It's Loch and Elan. Beautiful loch. In fact, I think there might be two, and if we can, we're going to do the route that takes us round both, which is a 5-mile loop. You hear Sue coughing. She's picked up that cold that I brought back from England, so she probably won't do much speaking today, just lots of coughing. But we're looking forward to this gorgeous walk. Now, it's a lovely, sunny, fresh day today, but it's blustery. Anyway, and cold, yeah. But we will, of course, bring you with us. Off the beaten track. Well, it's not that off the beaten track because there is a path, but there's a sign that says path not maintained. But this is the one that we take us around the second little loch as well, isn't it?
I'm not sure how you pronounce it.
Oh, what's it called?
Loch Gamna.
Loch Gamna?
Gamina?
I can't read it, I've not got my glasses on.
Gamhna.
Loch Gamna. Or Gamha, who knows? So if there's anyone who does know how we pronounce that, let us know. We've probably butchered that. Anyway, we're going to do the second loch as well, because it does make our walk a little bit longer, which Fudge will enjoy. And it's absolutely gorgeous. I can't believe we've lived here now for nearly 4 months and we've not actually done this walk before. Anyway, there's so much walking to do, you just can't do it all straight away, can you? Can't believe it, here we are by the edge of Loch and Elan, and there's a sauna. Don't think there's anyone in it at the moment, but it's obvious that you can actually book it out. How cool's that? Well, we're almost back at the car park. I do hope you've enjoyed this walk today. It will be a great one to come with children, particularly if you just do the one lot. It's an easy walk, 3-mile loop. They could come on their bikes, they'd have a great time. Well, after all that abundance of nature, I wanted to introduce you to the partner of this week's video, and that's the company called Wild. Now, Wild are on a mission, and they really want to reduce that throwaway culture, particularly in relation to bathroom products, and they've done that by producing some really natural products that actually work and smell amazing. Now, all of their products are certified vegan and cruelty-free, and they've just launched a new fragrance, and it's called, they've sent me one, it's called Juicy Mango, and I'll tell you what, it is an explosion for the nostrils. It smells absolutely amazing. Now, we've been using Wild now since December, and we're totally converted to this. We both absolutely love them, and so much so that we've taken advantage of the flexible subscription plan, so we've got them coming through our door. But do you know what? They do last for ages. I think my first use of the deodorant lasted for just over 2 months, so they're brilliant. And even better, they've just launched, they've teamed up with Emma Bridgewater, that famous designer, pottery designer, to come up with this new design especially for Mother's Day. Now, you know, mums come, I think, in lots of shapes and sizes. Generally that person that picks you up when you're down, and wouldn't this make an absolutely brilliant gift? It's one of their little containers with the Emma Bridgewater design, and you can put your refillable containers in here, or your refillable deodorant products in here. It's amazing. Now, of course, we've got you a discount code. So it's Motorhome20. I'm going to put a QR code on the screen now, and I'll also put the link to the website in the description below. So if you haven't got your mum a present yet, or that special person in your life that lifts you up when you're down, then take advantage of this offer. It is only for a limited time, but get yourself that 20% discount. I think you'll be really pleased. I thought I'd step into the greenhouse and do something that we've been waiting to do for some time. Now, a few years ago, that's probably not even quite 2 years ago, just over a year, we lost a very dear friend, and she was a really keen gardener. And we were all gifted, all her friends were gifted some honeysuckle seeds to grow with love. Now, we obviously haven't been able to do that until very recently, and Sue's done a bit of research, and she thinks now is the right time to start to sow these seeds and hopefully grow some beautiful honeysuckle. Now, we are in the Scottish Highlands, so I'm not sure how well honeysuckle fare, but just to at least give them a start in life, we've got this, I've bought this propagator especially for this. So I'm going to mix some compost. I'm going to sieve it first so I get it nice and fine. I've also bought some vermiculite, which I think helps with drainage, but I also understand that honeysuckle like to be moist. So I'm hoping I'm doing the right thing. Let's get started, shall we? Now, I know you can actually buy special soil for seeds, but I have heard that if you just sieve normal compost so it comes out nice and crumbly and fine, just get rid of the bigger bits, then what comes out, it's not coming out very quickly, will be all right for seeds. So that's what I'm going with anyway, and hopefully I can get some nice fine crumbly soil, which will be perfect for our babies. Well, I've given up with the sieve. It wasn't doing a very good job, or maybe I wasn't doing a very good job, so I've just been breaking it down as much as I can with my fingers like this and pulling any big lumpy bits out. Either breaking it down if there's a little stone, there's a few little stones in here, I've just been pulling them out and sticking them in the corner over there. Or big bits of wood and things like that that haven't quite broken down. So I think, I mean, I've no idea, no experience of doing this, but I've been doing it for a while now and just making sure it's as fine and crumbly as I think the little seeds are going to need. So I think I'm ready to add the vermiculite. So let's just put this open. And obviously, as an amateur, I have no method to this. So let's just pull a little pot. See if I can use one of these as a scoop, maybe. Is that enough? Let's give it a little bit of a mix in. How's that looking? Does that look like I've got enough in there? I don't know. Right, I'm gonna do another handful just in case. I mean, can you have too much of this? Life's a big experiment, isn't it? Be brave. Be brave and give it a go. There, well, it looks pretty anyway, doesn't it? Right, so let's take this off of my fancy and let's fill this up. Okay, my friend, here's to you. And I'm going to take it indoors in a minute, but because I've got some more space in there, I'm going to see what else I can fit in to the other bits. Sue's on a mission today. Let me show you what's going on out here in the statutory. It's carnage.
I feel like just chopping it there, just forgetting about it.
Well, why don't we at least leave it 1 year and then we can see what it looks like in the summer? Because it might be quite.
I need to get it off.
Yeah. I wasn't meaning leave it completely, but before you consider just chopping it off. You're making a little bit of a mess. Let me go and see if I can find you a longer ladder then. You don't like what, sorry?
Russian vines.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Well, you've made a bit of a mess here, Sue. Looks like you've been working hard whilst I've been out.
Just before you came back, I had just cleared up because I needed to go back in the house. So I thought
Oh, there's a little nest there. Don't disturb the nest.
nothing in it. But I've chopped off all the lengths to the roots. Oh, really not all of them. So yeah, it's still.
Still a bit to go then.
Oh yeah, I've got all over the other side. It's huge over there.
Well, good morning. Now, recently, one of our lovely subscribers has contacted us to say, we're in your area, we've had a little bit of an accident with a support corner piece on our bed, and it's going to cost us a lot of money, too much money really, to replace it, and we just wondered whether it would be possible for you to make one with your newfound skills, and could we pay you instead? Well, the answer to the first question is I don't know. And the answer to the second question is therefore definitely not. But I said I'll have a bit of fun trying. Now this is the piece. So it's ply, and I do have some ply, so I don't need to buy anything new to give it a go. These are little kind of insets, I don't know if you've got that, which help screw it into place, and it's broken, it's completely snapped here. So all I've got to do, in theory, is trace this onto a ply sheet and cut it out, which I can hopefully do with the jigsaw. The problem is, of course, it has to be really accurate, and whoops, and I've lost a bit already. So let's see whether my skills are up to it. I'm going to go and get my overalls on, because otherwise I will get very dusty, and let's give it a go. So having made this nice big board, hopefully you can see that. It is, I've already checked it when I got back yesterday, it is exactly the same width of ply, so I've got the right stuff. And all I really need to do now is trace that onto here. They had patched it up temporarily with some gaffer tape, which if you're a motorhomer you will know, gaffer tape is the answer to everything. And it's obviously done the job temporarily for them, but the idea is if we cut them a new piece that is exactly a replica in size and shape, then it'll be good for another however long. There we go. We can redo that, give them back their temporary solution if I failed, isn't it? Actually, it wasn't too bad. I do need to straighten it though. Okay, maybe. Okay, so I think I've come up with a way of making sure in my new piece that these holes are in the correct place. So let me show you. I've got one, which I'm so glad I brought with me, which has got a screw in it, one of these. See that? And when it's in place in there, like that, the top of the screw is just ever so slightly poking out. So I figure, I can't get out now, if I line it up with my new piece of wood, like so, on the line, and in such a place that the tip of the screw is just up, hopefully you can see that, then I can simply draw around it, and that will mark where my rotor bit needs to go in. So I'll give it a go anyway. Right, so now I have all my little circles in place. Good. Okay, so all I've got to do now is wait for that new rotor bit to arrive, and it is due to come here today, and hopefully I'll be able to finish this off. Although I do want to sand it, so I might do that whilst I'm waiting. Okay, so I've just been out for a walk with Fudge. And whilst I've been out, my new rotor bit has arrived. Wow. Can you believe it? There you go. 30 quid for that little thing. Now I'm going to save you here from lots of irrelevant content, because after faffing about, I realised that this bit was never going to do the job. And actually, what I really needed was a Burstner drill bit. That was only after some more research and failing with this. So let's try again. My new drill bit has arrived, so it's time for me to check out whether I can actually drill those flat-bottomed recessed holes. Well, I'm very pleased to say I think I've actually managed to do it. So that was the original. Actually, the last bit was a bit of a faff because it's got these plastic fittings in. Hopefully you can see that. Where sort of a plastic thing and a screw, and obviously that screws into where it's going. And getting them out of here was the most difficult part. And because it's an exact, because they're not glued in or anything, that is exactly 24 mil. So we needed the hammer and a covering board to just bash it into place. And there is one missing. I'm hoping that the boys have got the one that's missing, and we can get that in when we get it back to them. But I'm really pleased, and I am as confident as I can be, because look, it just is spot on. You can see where the wood's burned, where I think I mentioned that earlier, but you can see it is absolutely a spot on replica. Obviously not quite flush there, but that's because of that being cracked and broken. But otherwise, job is a good one. Yes, I feel so great about that because it's something completely new. And that, can you believe it? To get that replacement would have cost them £100. That's a ridiculous amount of money. I mean, it would have probably had the right coloured veneer on, and you know, so I mean, mine's not perfect in that respect, but it's not worth £100, is it? There we go. I'm so pleased about that. Let's hope it works now. Well, I can't end the video without a couple of updates. So Sue did manage to cut down a lot more of the Russian vine, that's what she says it is, and she cleared up, so it looked much better. And second thing, the wooden piece, the support piece that I made for our friends, fitted like a glove. So I am well happy with that. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and well, we'll see you next week.